Hey everybody, Travis and Summer Flaherty here, and we're so excited to be here with all of you today.
I can't believe we're finally here. We've been looking forward to this event for so long, and we're so excited to be here to celebrate with you.
Today, what we want to do is talk to you a little bit about our journey in the network marketing industry. We've been in the industry now for 16 years, and we've learned some lessons, sometimes the hard way. And our goal is to provide the information that helps you to avoid some of those same pitfalls and trial and errors that a lot of network marketers go through in this industry. You know, when we were first approached about network marketing, we had a lot of preconceived notions about this industry. You know, I thought to myself, I'm a real business owner. I'm never going to do one of those things. However, I've always believed in multiple streams of income. And, you know, I've always had this feeling that if we were to achieve our financial freedom day, your financial freedom day is the day that you no longer have to trade time for dollars. You can do the things that you want to do rather than the things that you have to do. To be able to declare your financial freedom day, you need multiple streams of income. I call them income producing assets. And when I looked at the network marketing industry, what we found was not at all what we perceived. What we found was this incredible opportunity to be able to get started in a business that didn't require a tremendous amount of capital, that allowed you to be able to start in your part-time or even in your spare time and be able to build something up over a period of time that allowed you to be able to develop a residual income stream. Residual income is the key to getting back your time freedom. I think that if most people, Summer, understood residual income, they would walk through a brick wall to get to it. And so, you know, I'm also a big fan of the saying, the height of all stupidity is forming an opinion without knowing all the facts. And so, you know, we had a very good friend of ours that approached us about a network marketing opportunity. I think it was back in 2005. And there's an important lesson here, because I don't know if we would have listened to an opportunity if it hadn't been someone that we respected, someone that we admired, someone that we in some ways looked up to. And I think that the lesson in that is be the type of person that when you do reach out to someone, they're willing to listen because they respect you, because you have credibility.
Yeah.
I always say that with credibility, you have solvency, and without it, you're bankrupt. So, you know, lesson number one is be the type of person that you would want to take a call from, that you would be willing to say, okay, what do you got? So a friend of ours, Steve, reached out to us and said, hey, listen, I don't know that much about the industry, but what I do know is there's a lot of people that are making a lot of money in this space. And if you can get involved in the early stages of a company that has all of the signs of becoming one of those next billion-dollar companies, there's a lot of money that can be made. And he invited us to take a closer look, and we decided to give it a shot. We jumped in, and I will say at that point, we were amateurs.
Oh, for sure.
You know, we were dabbling at best. You know, we still had our traditional business that paid the bills. And so any extra income that came in, I always joke now and I say that it was Summer's shoe money. You know, it was extra money for our family. It was great. And I will say this, at that point in time, we were hoping to get lucky. You know, I think that a lot of people come into network marketing hoping to get lucky. They don't treat it as a real business. They treat it like a hobby. Maybe they even treat it like the lottery. And that was us. When we first got involved, we thought, hey, there's this new company. They're just launching. If we can get in early, we're going to make lots of money. And so we went out and we really didn't know what we were doing. Ignorance on fire, I guess. And we went out, we started telling people about the product. In many cases, we threw up on people. In fact, I remember coming home. Do you remember this? I came home and I said, okay, honey, and you knew what meeting I was going to.
Yeah, I did. I was
so
worried about it.
I came home and I said, we're going to do network marketing. And what were your thoughts to that?
Well, I do feel prior to him going, he had been tracked down for several months. So I kind of had an idea he was going to come home with a new business plan. So I was a little bit prepared for that. But I think at that point, because Steve had been pursuing pretty hard prior, and we did the whole avoidance thing because we just had these ideas about network marketing that were not true. And so we had avoided actually meeting with Steve because of that very reason. So when Travis came home and said, "Hey, we're going to do this," I actually was really excited. And I was excited because I think after seeing Steve, our neighbor, we had seen this transition that he went through where he had a traditional business that he did very, very well on. And what made us open to finally having Travis take that meeting was that we had seen what Steve had gone from this very successful independent business that he had owned and operated to now doing a more non-traditional business in our minds, network marketing. And he'd been able to keep the relatively same income, if not do better. And so that really piqued our interest. We were really like, wow, what? Like he was able to quit his normal business that he had for years. And now he's home, he was on this little rider lawnmower with his son during the afternoons. And he looked like he was just having a lot of fun and more time for his family. And so before that, he was gone all the time. He was gone for weeks at a time to Asian countries because he had to do that for his business. So then all of a sudden we're seeing him home all the time. I don't know. I just felt like that had opened up our mind to like, wait, what is this network marketing thing? And if he's doing it and he's able to spend more time with his family and have more time freedom and still be able to have a wonderful lifestyle, I kind of want to know what that's about.
I think that's such a good, maybe even lesson number 2 here is, his success early on created curiosity for us, because initially when they approached us, like a lot of people, we put up that wall on a subconscious level, right? I don't know what that is, but as he started to really dive in and he started to assume the role as a network marketing professional, and because of his early success, it created curiosity for us. And I will point out that up to that point, we had been approached many, many times prior to this about other network marketing opportunities, and we had always said no. And so, I think that it's important that you understand that no doesn't always mean no. It just means no right now. Because Summer and I, said no to a lot of people before the right person approached us at the right time. And it's funny that you bring up that lawnmower. I remember driving to work one day. We had a business, and I was driving to our office, and it's middle of the week, 10 o'clock in the morning. And I pull up, and Steve was our neighbor, and he's sitting there on a lawnmower with his little boy in his lap. And I pulled up and I said, "Hey, don't you have to be at work?" Kind of joking him. And he said, "No, actually, I actually sold my traditional business. That network marketing thing I told you about a few months back, well, it's really taken off. And I'm doing it full time now." And I remember saying, "Congratulations." And I remember driving to work, and I just thought to myself, man, maybe I should have looked closer at this opportunity. I think I even called you and said, "You're not going to believe this, but Steve sold his airplane parts business." Yeah. And so I think it's important that sometimes when you launch your business, you have to understand that those first 30, 60, 90 days, the momentum that you create early on in that process is going to serve as a magnet that attracts people to your cause. And so it's important that you give them something to talk about. You give them something to watch, because every time that you sponsor one more person, every time that you rank advance, every time that you qualify for whatever promotion that's happening, what you do is you just raise your credibility a little bit more each time. And really, credibility is the name of the game in this business. So we decided to give it a shot, and we dabbled with it. I remember coming home and I was excited. And, that night I made this list. They tell you, make a names list, go back to everybody that you know since you were in grade school, write their name on a paper. Don't judge anybody, right? And there's some, there's reasons for that, right? That's good advice. You don't want to ever prejudge anyone. So we wrote out this names list, and then I got all of their emails, and then I typed the most heartfelt email. I told everybody that I had found the holy grail, that we were going to be rich, and that, this opportunity was going to change everybody's lives, and I didn't want to leave them behind. And I typed out, this long email.
I feel like it was like your Jerry Maguire moment, the Jerry Maguire memo moment.
For those of you internationally, Jerry Maguire's a funny movie where he puts together this message that he sends out, this declaration. And I send it about 9:30, 10 o'clock to my entire database, right? And I completely threw up on everybody is the term. So I sent it out, and I just knew that when I sent this email that people were going to get it, and they were immediately going to call me and say, "What is this? Tell me more." So I remember checking my email at like 10, going and refreshing. It was like AOL dial-up back then, you know. So I log into our emails and there's no emails. Nobody had responded. I thought, well, you know, it is a little late. So I gave it another 30 minutes, an hour. And I thought, well, surely the people on the West Coast have got to still be up. Nobody responds. Gets to the point where it's midnight. And I thought, well, you know, it'll be in their inbox first thing in the morning. And so I wake up early, excited. And I check my emails. And once again, there's nobody that responded. And by lunchtime, I kind of realized what had happened is I had burnt a lot of those relationships because you know, in my excitement, I had basically, you know, sometimes you can give too much information early on in the process. You know, they always say, don't give the presentation during the invitation. And that's exactly what I did. And then it was really hard to get people on the phone the next couple of weeks or even to meet with me because they knew, oh, Travis is in one of those things. Stay away from him for a while until he calms down. And so what I would tell you is it's very important that you understand your role in network marketing. Your role, really, there's a couple of key things that we do as network marketing professionals, and I'd encourage you to write these things down. So the first thing that we do is we notify people of what we're up to, right? We just notify people of what we're up to. We let them know that I've started this new business. We let them know that we've gotten involved with something exciting, and just let them know what we're up to. The second thing that we do is we invite them to take a closer look. Now, it's important that during that process that you're not giving the presentation during the invitation. Your job is to get them just to take a closer look, or maybe even to try a sample of our amazing drops that we have, right? Your job is just to get them from one place to the next. And so we notify people of what we're up to. We invite them to take a closer look. The third thing that we do is we follow up, right? You may have heard that the fortune is in the follow-up. So we follow up and we answer questions. And a lot of times we use just third-party tools to answer those questions. So we might add them to a testimonial group where they can see all of the amazing testimonials that are happening, or we put them on an opportunity call, or perhaps you are doing live meetings in your home and you want to now invite someone to come learn more. And then the fourth thing that we do is collect decisions. And it usually takes bringing people through a process. People aren't going to give you a yes or no just right out of the gate on the first impression, not usually. So what we're doing is we're moving them through a funnel, and it usually takes those 3 or 4 exposures before someone is ready to give you a decision. But it's not just any decision. You're wanting to collect a well-informed decision. And I want you to understand that it's the process that you take someone through that creates the value. And dollars always follow value. So you have to understand that it's that process of notifying people of what you're up to, inviting them to take a closer look, following up, answering questions, and collecting decisions. And as you start to implement that type of systematic approach, you're going to find that you're also going to see much more duplication in your business. And so we got started, and we started to make a little bit of extra money. It was fun, and we used that money to be able to take some fun vacations that we wouldn't have otherwise have been able to take. And moving forward a little bit, what happened was the business that we were in was severely impacted by the downturn in the global economy in 2008, 2009 timeframe. And we lost everything. It was one of the most humbling experiences of my life. Some of you today might be watching this, and you might be going through one of the most challenging financial times of your life. We understand. We've been there. We had our cars repossessed, or a car repossessed. We were hiding at one point one of our vehicles in a neighbor's garage because we didn't want to lose the only vehicle that we had left. We had our electric turned off, our gas turned off in the middle of winter, and we lived in Utah at the time. Pretty cold there. Not quite as cold as those of you guys in Russia, but it's pretty cold. And so, we were going through a very difficult time. And I'm so thankful, we're thankful that we had that extra income stream.
It saved us, honestly. If we hadn't had that extra income, I don't know what we would have done. It literally saved us. And I'm so grateful that we had that thought to have a side business that ended up, I feel like this was that pivotal point where it ended up turning into our main business, because we realized how valuable and how important it was to be able to be in charge of I mean, don't you feel like that gives it gives you freedom and control to be in charge of your own business. And it's so amazing. And you don't have to go to work. You can do it right from home. So I felt like, I don't know if you're going to share some other parts of the story of what took us into network marketing full time, but I felt like this was a huge pivotal point for us to understand just how powerful having an at-home business was for us and our family, and how crucial it is for a lot of people to be able to have that income. Because let's face it, the global economy, at least here in the United States, there's nothing sure. The only sure thing that there is that there is going to be change, right? There's nothing that you can count on. You can count on yourself. You can count on what your business can do. And you can count that there's always going to be changes in the world. And I feel like that's what's so powerful about network marketing is, for us, it made us realize, wow, this is such a powerful thing that we had all along. And we didn't even realize the true potential of it, because at that time, that was kind of still our side thing. And we were just kind of dabbling in it, I feel like, a lot. So I felt like for us, this was a huge moment in our network marketing journey, because it helped us realize just how powerful it was for us to have been in network marketing, to have our own at-home business.
I'm glad you brought up uncertainty, because think about what's going on in the world today. In 2020, if there's anything that 2020 has taught us, it's the importance of having multiple streams of income. I'm fond of the saying, the best time to plant a tree is today. The best time to plant a tree was a year ago. The second best time to plant a tree is today. And we're thankful that we had gotten involved in network marketing a few years prior, even though at that time it was something that we just dabbled in, because when everything fell apart, when we lost everything, it was the only income stream that we had coming in the door. And it's how we put food on the table. We struggled a lot during that period of time, but as Summer mentioned, it was during that time that we made a very important decision. And this is something that I really want you to hear. Sometimes when your back is against the wall, it becomes the best springboard to go do something new and exciting with your life. And so we made a big decision at that point that we were going to go all in. Sometimes you go through challenges in life to push you down a different path to exactly where you're supposed to be. I'm going to say that one more time. Sometimes you go through challenges in life to push you down a different path to exactly where you're supposed to be. And for us, that was when we made that decision. And I'm going to say this respectfully. Some of you that are watching this right now haven't made that decision yet. You haven't made that decision to go all in. Imagine, you're sitting around a beautiful swimming pool, and everybody that's in the water, they're having fun. And you're kind of apprehensive. You know that the water's going to be cold. Maybe some of you are sitting on the edge and you've got your feet dangling in the water. Some of you are laying out, watching everybody else having fun in the pool. And then there's people that just come in and they just jump in and they do a cannonball. And you know what? At first, the water's probably cold when they hit the water, but what happens pretty quickly? You acclimate. And what we would tell you today is it's so critical that you make that decision to go all in. I'm not saying full-time versus part-time. We're not talking about that. What I am talking about is here in your heart, that you truly make a decision that I'm going to do this, that I'm going to succeed no matter what, that I'm going to burn the bridges of retreat, and that I'm going to go to the top of that mountain no matter what happens. I'm going to the top. And some of you have to make that decision. Some of you have been dabbling with this business for long enough. Some of you have been laying on the sides, laying out, watching everyone else, and it's time for you to engage. And so I think that that's really what that time represented for us. I remember that there was an event in Florida that I was invited to attend, and we didn't have any money at this point in time. So we had to make a very difficult decision. And the decision that we had to make was, do we pay our mortgage or do we use the money for our mortgage payment to go to this event? And even then, we had young children. Summer and I have 6 children. So six children. And at the time, I think we had 4 little ones. And so Summer said, Travis, you go. I'm going to stay home with the little ones, but you need to be there for this event. We have been told by our mentors that you have to go to the events. You have to be on the, and I want to applaud all of you for being here at APL Go Planet. The fact that you made the commitment to be here is so important. So I went to this event, and I was the guy who sat in the back of the room, arms folded, kind of not sure what to expect. I remember walking in and hearing the music pumping, and I kind of thought, well, this is cool. And then I saw lasers kind of going around, and I'm like, man, this is not like what I expected. But what happened for me at that event is I remember watching one person after another walk across that stage. And I remember thinking, if they can do it, I can do it. Yeah. You know, that guy's got nothing on me. No offense, but I mean, if that guy can do it, I can do it. And I remember even calling you from that event and saying,
I remember that.
It's time to think bigger, right? It's time to do this. And I think that we came home, and I think it was at that point that we really made that critical decision to go all in. And so from there, you know, we had run into a challenge that a lot of network marketers experience in this industry, which is we kind of had exhausted. We were part of the NFL club. Does anybody know what the NFL club is? It's the No Friends Left Club. Anybody been a part of that? You know, by that point, we had talked to everybody and then some about our business. We couldn't call any more family members and ask them to do us a favor and order our products. And so at that point, we realized that we needed to start to become professionals. You know, we needed to start to learn the skills. You know, up to that point, I think we had been relying on just sheer excitement, enthusiasm, maybe some of the skills that we had learned in traditional business. Yeah. But we realized that for us to take our business to the next level, we had to grow, right? Imagine that, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest leadership level that you could obtain, right? I'm talking about like the epitome of leadership, and 1 being the beginning. You know, imagine that, you know, we're playing at a 3 or a 4. Well, that means that we're attracting 2s and 3s to our business, because you typically don't attract up, right? You don't attract a 7 or an 8 if your leadership capability is a 2 or a 3. And so we realized that if we wanted to attract better people, that we had to become better. We had to grow, right? Your personal income will never exceed your personal growth. I'm going to say that again. Your personal income will never exceed your personal growth. And so we made a commitment to start going to events, that we were going to start not just our company events, but we were going to start going to events that we could surround ourselves with like-minded people that shared the same goals and dreams and wishes that we did. And not just that, people that thought much bigger than us, that earned much more money than us, because we thought if we could get around them, it would be contagious. It was our 10-year anniversary. So what did we decide to do?
We decided to go on a cruise for a network marketing cruise. It was a networking cruise that we had heard about, and we had seen, it looked like a lot of people would go, people we wanted to meet, people we wanted to know, leaders, trainers, people that we had our eye on in the industry, had been going to these cruises. And it was put on by none other than Big Al Schrader's.
Yeah, who's speaking here today at this event.
And his brother, or his son-in-law, and his daughter, they all 3 were putting this on. And it was a network marketing cruise. And we had been, you know, like, this would be kind of cool to go to this. We were nervous, actually, kind of, just because we were putting ourselves out there. There wasn't one single person in our company that was there. It was this new environment. And we're like, we're going to go. It's going to be so much fun. And we decided to use our anniversary trip as an excuse to splurge, because at the time we were doing okay, but we weren't where we wanted to be. Yeah. So we definitely decided to go on this cruise. And I feel like that was at that time, I feel like that was one of the best things that we could have done for our career in network marketing and for our personal growth, honestly, because I felt like that cruise was another pivotal moment in our career where we realized how important it is to network outside of your network and to go to these events, spend money on training, to grow with personal development in yourself, not only, and also in your business. So
I'll never forget that cruise that I sat down, and the first person that I sat down next to, I mean, think about thousands of people on cruises, right? Yeah. And I sit down next to a guy and we start talking, and he asks me what I do, and I'm posturing up, right? Oh, I'm a network marketing professional. And I'm thinking, I'm going to recruit this guy. And it's funny, he doesn't tell me who he is for a little bit. And after, you know, probably throwing up on him, it ended up being Todd Falcone. And Todd today is one of our dear friends. This was in 2010. But Todd, of course, is speaking at this event here as well. And so how fun is that, just to kind of see how this comes full circle. But Summer, there's a very important lesson in this, which is we made a conscious decision to raise the bar on who we allowed into our inner circle, raise the bar, raise the expectations on who we allowed into our inner circle. And we were going to start networking on purpose. We were going to get outside of our inner circle, right? Sometimes we get into this little bubble, right? Especially us networkers, now that we're working from home even, and so much more is done online. We get in this little bubble and we don't meet new people. We don't get outside of ourselves. And it's so important to go and do that, to go join networking groups, to go challenge yourself, to go meet new people, put yourself into positions that you might feel uncomfortable for a little while. I'll tell you guys, I do not like being in environments where I have to go meet new people or being around people that I don't know. Summer's like this social butterfly. She goes and just talks to everybody. That's not me at all. But we knew that if we were going to grow our business, we had to grow in all aspects, personal development being critical. And so that MLM cruise made a huge difference for us. We started network marketing on purpose. We started going to a number of different events, the A&MP events. We started going to Go Pro and watching some of these people that had the success that we wanted, emulating them. And that made a big difference for us. And then as we started to grow and as our credibility started to grow, we started to attract more people. And guess what? We were even invited to start speaking at some of these events. And so it's just fun. And there will be a point in time, network marketing is one of those businesses that in the early stages, you do a lot of things that you don't get paid for. I remember, maybe 6 months in, we had been going really, really hard. And I remember logging into my back office and there was nobody left that was active. Like we had sponsored something like 30 people and a few of them had put some people in, and 6 months in, there was not one person left. And I remember saying to you, I could make more money. You remember where?
Working at McDonald's.
Working at McDonald's than I could at this business. But here's the thing. You do a lot of things in the early stages that you don't get paid for, but down the road, you get paid a lot for the things that you don't do. You do a lot in the early stages that you don't get paid for, but down the road, you get paid a lot for the things you don't do. That is the reward and the trade-off for network marketing. We kept going, and that was the most important thing. There were changes in our course along the way. There were ups and downs. This wasn't easy. If it were easy, everybody would do it, right? I mean, entrepreneurship is hard. It's not an easy business. And I think that we do network marketing a disservice when we try to recruit people under the premise that this is easy. Oh, it's so easy. Or I think we do network marketing a disservice. You want to know the number one reason people leave network marketing? People setting false expectations. Making it sound like it's the lottery, making it sound like, oh, it's so early. You just join now and you're going to make all kinds of money. Let me tell you something. It is get rich quick, but it is not get rich possible. It requires hard work and smart work and dedication and commitment. The good news is most people do this part-time in the beginning. Listen, you can do this part-time. You can do this in your spare time, but you can't do it some of the time. I'm going to say that again. You can do this part-time. You can do this in your spare time, but you can't do it some of the time. One of the most important things to your success in this industry is your consistency. John Maxwell, who is one of our favorite leadership mentors, right? The first book that I ever read is probably sitting up here somewhere on one of these shelves. It was called 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. That book, I fell in love with the constant pursuit of leadership. Still on it today, still so much to learn, believe me. But, in that book, he talks about you'll never change your life until you change something that you do daily. And it's all about consistency over a long enough period of time. And that's the key to success in this business. We've also found, one of the things that we learned and we observed is that it wasn't just important to grow ourselves.
Yes.
We had to grow the people in our organization. So what we would do is we would go. I mean, I have these journals, that are back here on my shelves here.
Falling apart.
This is a journal. Look at this. I don't even have anything on the outside anymore. These are journals from 8-10 years ago. And what we would do is we would go to these events and we would take copious notes, right? Copious notes. Some of these are notes that Summer was making to me. So she'd be at an event and she'd take a note, and the note was purposely for me that I needed to hear, right? But here's the point. And it takes me back just looking at these. I remember this talk, this guy named George Zalecki at this event. It made me cry. This particular talk made me cry. But here's my point. My point is that I could take this information and I could do a training today for you based on the information that I learned 10 years ago because I have a success journal and I took notes.
I will just say the reason why it looks so bad is because of how many times he's gone back to this to use these in trainings and to also remember, and to retrain yourself, right? So
we have these sitting around.
That's why it looks so bad because he used it so much.
This is my current one sitting on my desk. You should have a success journal on your desk. And when you hear something that stands out to you as you go to these trainings, as you get on these type of events, you should be taking notes. If it's worth remembering, it's worth writing down. So, we started taking notes and we learned that not only is it important to grow ourselves, but the number one way to grow an organization is to grow the people in the organization. Yes. To grow the people in the organization. Because as you start to help other people dream bigger, think bigger, step outside themselves, as they start to grow, that's where the magic happens. And I will tell you guys that this industry, what I think that we are so passionate about, what drives us 16 years later, because trust me, there's been times where we've said, I'm done. You're not a veteran in this industry until you say, I'm never doing network marketing again at least 5 times. Yeah. So the thing that drives us though, and the reason why we're here with you today is there's something magical that happens when you see someone come alive, when they start to think a little bit bigger, dream a little bit bigger, more, and them believe in themselves a little more, that's what we love. And that's what our goal is to empower people, not just with the skills, the knowledge, the motivation, but the belief in themselves that you can have anything that you want in life if you just believe it. You don't get what you want, you get what you believe. Yeah. So after all these years, and I'm kind of cutting the story a little short, we hit the top earning position in multiple companies. We became master distributors of companies. We, have been hired by dozens of companies to help them consult and to help them launch their companies. And, along this journey, I got a call about this amazing company out of Europe that had hundreds of thousands of amazing distributors. The company has exploded all over Eastern Europe and they're starting to expand around the world, and that they had turned their sights on the United States and that they were coming here and that they would soon be turning their website on and that they would soon be introducing this. And by the way, I have to give credit. Kari Thompson is the person who reached out to us. And I'll tell you guys, we weren't looking for a new opportunity. That's the thing. You just never know. You can't say to yourself, oh, well, they're in this company, or, oh, they're doing this, so they're not going to be interested, because you just never know. And so we decided to come in at first, kind of very quietly and slowly, and kind of came in and we started off as consultants and just kind of helping out with the United States behind the scenes. But as we started to see what was happening with this product, this first, product's never been done before. It's an unbelievable product. It tastes fantastic. The branding, Olga, let's all give Olga a round of applause, because I know she works behind the scenes, but just look at how everything looks. It's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
And not just, I want to give the entire team a round of applause. Felix and Sergi and George and Nancy and everybody at corporate that works so hard to allow us to be able to do what we do. Let's give them a little fun here. Yeah, we'll give you guys a little fun here. But, when we started to see what was happening, there's this thing that happens where it goes from here to here. It goes from your head to your heart. And that really is what needs to happen for you to be successful in this business. You can rationalize all day long why an opportunity is great, but until it gets in here, you're never going to fully succeed. And part of that is you, and that's on you to show up. It's on you to take action, right? It starts off with a little faith, right? It's like a little mustard seed. But over time, that seed will start to grow if you nourish it. And it's your responsibility to nourish it, right? You can't just sign the application and go 3 months later, how come my business isn't growing? You can't just not talk to people and say, how come my business isn't growing? So, you have to nourish it. And for us, as we got around Sergi, as we got around Felix, as we got around the products and saw what was happening in the energy, it started to go from here to here. And so Summer and I just recently, this has only been now, 60 days, 60 days ago that we made the decision that we were going all in at APL Go. And we actually left our previous company to come here full time. Since then, we have just, we've attracted a team of just some of the most talented network marketing professionals, people that we're grateful and honored to be working with every single day. I always say that when you attract the quality, the quantity will come. And we're attracting the quality right now. And so, you know what, we couldn't be more excited. We love the products. They taste fantastic. We're excited about all the fun announcements here at APL Planet, but we love the products. More importantly, we trust the people that are involved. We trust them. We know their hearts. We know their intentions. We know that this is going to be a home run. And the people that choose to lock arms at this stage of the game with all of us, the APL Go family, we're all family here, they're going to win big. And we could not be more excited. The results that we've experienced in 60 days, by the way, are unprecedented in this industry. I mean, I don't want to get into numbers and facts and figures, but I will just say this. The amount of money that people are earning right now here in the United States is crazy. I mean, you know, the type of income that we've earned in 60 days, you know, we're talking six-figure incomes. People, you know, work years, you know, a lot of people work a long time to get to the point where they're making, or never do make that kind of money on a yearly basis. So APL Go is our home, and we are grateful to be a part of it. We couldn't be more excited about the future. The future does not look any brighter. And I will just leave you with this. This is the most important lesson that we can share with you today. It is not about the money. Now, I know some of you right there are going, hold on, wait a second. I need to make some money here. I need to make some money. It's okay. Making money is fine. It's not about making money. It's about who you become in the process and who you help along the way. The money is a byproduct of those two things. It is about who you become in the process, the lives that you impact along the way. The money is a byproduct of those two things. Just remember that. So with that, we want to say thank you to all of you for welcoming us into your family. Couldn't be more excited and honored to be a part of this amazing journey with all of you. And we look forward to seeing and meeting many of you in person in the near future. You guys take care and God bless.